When you're given an equation with variables on both sides, you're going to attack it by first collecting all of the variable terms on one side. Then you're going to combine all the variable terms. Then you're going to isolate, and then you're going to divide. So for example, you could have 7x plus 19 is equal to negative 2x plus 55. Our first step is to collect all the variable terms on one side. We have a 7x and a negative 2x. You want to get all of the variable terms collected on one side. So to do that, we're going to add 2x to both sides. When we do that, on the right, the negative 2x is going to cancel. And you're left with 7x plus 2x plus 19 is equal to 55. Next, we are going to combine. We have two terms we can combine, 7x and 2x, but they are like terms. You have 7 of one of them and 2 of the other, which means you're going to have 9x plus 19 equals 55. We're then going to isolate the variable term, and to do that we need to get rid of that 19, so we're going to subtract 19 from both sides, leaving us with 9x equals 36. Now we need to divide. In this case, we're dividing because we need to, again, isolate x. X is not quite alone because it has this 9 in front of it. So we're going to divide both sides by 9. We're going to divide. So we end up with x is equal to 36 over 9 is 4. So again, we've collected our variables on one side, we've combined them, we've isolated, we've divided, leaving us with a final answer of x equals 4. You can do the exact same thing and isolate the variable on the other side. For example, you could start with 80 minus 9y is equal to 6y. In this case, we're going to combine, so we need to get all of the variables on one side. In this case, we're going to put them on the right side. We end up with 80 equals 6y plus 9y, and 6y plus 9y is 15y. We don't need to isolate because the 15y is all by itself already, but we do need to divide. We do need to divide by 15 so we can isolate the y. So we end up with 80 over 15 is equal to y. We need to break down that fraction. They're both divisible by 5, so you can pull a 5 out. So it is 16 over 3 is equal to y. Now, most commonly, or most frequently, we'll end up with one solution, but it is possible to have many solutions or no solutions. For example, we could have 3 times x plus 2 equals 3x plus 6. To solve this, we need to first distribute, so we end up with 3x plus 6 is equal to 3x plus 6. And then you can subtract 6 from both sides, and with 3x is equal to 3x. Divide by 3 and end up with x is equal to x. When is that true? When x equals anything. So this is said to have many solutions, an infinite number of solutions. What about an equation that looks like this? 4 times 1 minus x plus 3x is equal to negative 2 times x plus 1. You have to distribute, so you end up with 4 minus 4x plus 3x is equal to negative 2x minus 2. Now we follow our instructions, which would collect on one side, so let's add 2x to both sides just to get all the variables on one side. And let's subtract 4 to get rid of that 4. So we end up with negative 4x plus 3x plus 2x equals, and again, these cancel. We end up with minus 6 because we have a negative 2 and a negative 4. No, with negative 6. Okay? So we then combine all of our terms, and we end up with x. We end up with negative x right here, and 2x is just x. And then x is equal to negative 6. So this was a little more complicated, and in fact it did have one solution. Okay, so you're not quite sure from the outset. It could go either way. So let's keep looking for one that has no solutions. How about this one? X plus 2 is equal to x plus 4. Now, you can look at that and kind of say, well, that's obviously not true, but how do you prove it? Well, do something that keeps it true, which is subtracting x, and you end up with 2 is equal to 4. This is not true, so that means there are no solutions. So if you ever get to a statement that is not true, 2 equals 4, 7 equals 9, 2 equals 0, that means that there are no solutions. This was not true, which means that there are no solutions. Let's do another more complicated one. 1/2 times 12x plus 16 equals 10 minus 3 times x minus 2. First, we need to distribute. We end up with 1/2 times 12x plus 1/2 times 16 is equal to 10 minus, we have to distribute again, 3x plus, or we can keep it as minus 3 times negative 2. 1/2 times 12 is 6x plus 8, that's half of 16, equals 10 minus 3x. And it's minus 3 times negative 2, so it's plus 6. Let's simplify a little bit first. 6x plus 8 stays the same, but then you have 10 plus 6 right here. So you end up with 16 minus 3x. And now we collect all of the terms with variables on one side. So let's add 3x to both sides. So we end up with 6x plus 3x plus 8 is equal to 16. And now we can subtract 8 from both sides, giving us, and combine these to make 9x is equal to 16 minus 8 is 8. So x is going to equal, divided by 9, find that. X is equal to 8 over 9. I hope you found this video useful.